Texans offense getting some help back as wide receivers Christian Kirk and Braxton Berrios both practice and are expected to return and make their Texans debut Sunday against the Jags. They both missed the first two games of the season with hamstring injuries. Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey was named the NFC's Special Teams Player of the Week after his 16-point performance against the Giants, including a 64-yarder in the game winner.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pleasure wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, gang?
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thank you for joining me, however you may be joining, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial. If you happen to be locked in and listening on sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player. That's also where you can find our audio vault that has all of our previous shows and interviews. Or if you happen to be watching live on our YouTube channel, that's right. We've streamed all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe while you're there. Let you know, set those notifications so you know when we're live. You can comment along with the show as it happens. As a bunch of people in the bullpen already up in there. And, of course, you can always feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I'll have a pair of tickets to go to SA Beer Festival coming up a little bit later in the show. But we'll start things off with some great stuff. We won't have the A&M coaches show tonight because they are on a bye this week, but it did not stop Mike Elko from joining the morning huddle this morning. And so this will be much like your A&M coaches show with Andrew Monaco and Mike Elko when they join at 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights right here on San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Texas A&M Aggies. We get to react to quite the game as the Aggies go into South Bend and pull out that win. Well, the head coach joined AJ and Rob this morning to talk about that.
Coach Mike Elko joins us on the program. Texas A&M 3-0. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Now, were you going to call us if you had lost that game 41-40?
No, I would have blamed you guys.
Okay, that's what I figured was going to be the case.
The reason why we lost is because I went on the radio show with you guys and scratched them off of any further tickets we could possibly do.
Well, it would just further my battered Aggie syndrome. It just proved the problem that I've dealt with for so many years. But as we're having fun and talking about it, what was a great win. Are we going to do anything with that chair? Is there anything that we can do with the chair that you tossed that we could turn it into some kind of like a motivational tool?
Well, this is what I said. I said it probably was placed in a really bad spot. And in the future, if we could keep it out of my way, it would probably benefit everybody in and around the program.
Including the chair.
Including the chair.
Coach, you guys get I think maybe that was the biggest road win, it feels like, in some time for as a program. I imagine that's a weight lifted off your shoulders, a weight lifted off these players' shoulders, because that was what everybody was saying is, well, A&M, they're pretty good until they have to leave their building. Did this one feel particularly gratifying to do it on someone else's turf?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we knew the path to us having, the success that we want to have was we had to improve what we did on the road. I think it was 2.5 years since we won on the road, and we were able to break that streak last year at Florida. And then I think it had been 11 years since we had won on the road at a top 25 opponent. And we were able to break that streak. And I think it was 1979, the last time we beat a top 10 opponent on the road. And so I think we've done some or non-conference top 10 opponent. And so we hit some things out of the park on Saturday night for sure.
It certainly was a lot of fun. When you take a program over and things start to shift, and this was a first step in I'm sure a very long plan, when you come off of problems, you learn how to get up when you failed. Now you're going to have to learn how to be a success. And with that success and the accolades that come with it, you hear it all the time, the rat poison that comes along with it. What's your concern level of now that success is here and your players are tasting it? How do you maintain that and continue to get better?
Yeah, as a coach, I have a concern level every minute of every day because I'm in charge of a whole bunch of teenagers. In terms of the big picture scope of the question you're asking, we dealt with it a little bit last year, and I think we learned some lessons from it. We beat LSU. We got to number 10 or number 9 in the country. We were 5-0 in the SEC, and I've been well versed on this. We didn't handle that real well, and so I think we learned some painful lessons down the stretch last year that hopefully we've learned how to handle this, learn that the next game is the most important thing that we've got to focus on. And, we're going to have a big one here in about 10 days against Auburn in Kyle Field.
Coach, you guys had some adversity early in this game. You guys were down 17-7. You gave up a touchdown on a blocked punt. Never an ideal way to start a game on the road, especially. How pleased with your team's ability to kind of stay locked in and dig out of a hole that they dug themselves early?
Yeah, I told them I was really proud of how we overcame everything that happened in that game. I don't think it went to script in any way, shape, or form. But I also pointed out that a lot of that adversity was caused by us. And so there's still a lot of areas where, as a program, and as a team, we can grow. I still think we're far away from playing at our ceiling, and that's obviously always our goal is to play the best football Texas A&M could possibly play. And I think that's maybe the motivating factor that we have in our building right now is we had a really big win, one of the biggest wins we've had in a long time as a program. But we still believe there's a lot more in us and a lot higher ceiling to what we can play to.
He's Coach Mike Elko, head coach of your Fighting Texas Aggies, joining us here for his regular stop-off. Your offense, the balance required for success is starting to round into form. Where are you in the progress or the progression of this offense? Because you're starting to see fruits on the ground, wide receivers, tight ends, everybody's starting to get involved.
Yeah, it's great to see. We spent a lot of time this offseason talking about our need to improve our pass game, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. But certainly, playmakers on the outside was a big part of it. And so, we had really two good games on offense. We had attacked the perimeter really well, but this was an opportunity to do it against a top 10 team with a really talented secondary, and the fact that we were able to go out there and make the explosive plays that we did. I think was really just kind of a rallying cry to what we're trying to get done on offense.
Coach, I said if I were in Mike Elko's shoes and Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame score that touchdown with just under 3 minutes to go, I am thrilled to see them line up to go for 2 because it lets me know exactly where I stand. Worst case scenario, I know I've got to go down, get a touchdown, and get 2 points. Best case scenario, they don't get that 2, and suddenly my job's a lot easier. Were you surprised that they went for 2 in that situation? And am I right that you were happy that they did?
They didn't go for 2. They dropped the snap on the extra point.
Oh, okay. So that I thought it was like it was like a planned thing.
No, it was actually, but it was the most fortuitous accident of all time.
Yeah, for sure. That it was the poor backup quarterback dropped the snap.
I thought they were trying to run a fake or something like that. So maybe I
can only
corrected.
wish.
Now
Coach Freeman would have been that. But.
So I mean, that's a really fortunate thing for you guys. I mean, that's got to be a good feeling. For your offense, you're sitting on the field saying, "Hey, they just opened the door for us."
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was kind of the rhetoric you heard on the sideline was, hey, let's go win this game now. They opened the door a little bit. Let's go step through it and let's go win the game. And I think, maybe big picture, I think one of you guys referenced BAS. Maybe the fact that we got a little bit of a fortuitous break at South Bend in front of touchdown Jesus, maybe that's a sign that things are trending in a better direction for the Aggies.
You're living right for sure. With a running back room like you have and the skill sets that your 4 backs bring, is there a decision as to which guys get to run which plays, or is it just about wind and timing?
I think it's probably more wind and timing. I think we try to be very diligent about not tipping our hand, and I think you can get very predictable if, this kid being in leads to certain plays being run. I think that we have a lot of confidence in our backfield. We got a lot of confidence in what they can do. And so I think we just try to rotate based on, flow, feel, who's got the hot hand. And, obviously we're real excited about all of those guys that we have back there.
Coach, you guys sitting at 3-0, but there's always going to be a-holes like me who look back at the schedule and go, yeah, but is that win going to age well? And I've done it so far with LSU with the win over Clemson. I don't know how good that win is aging. I'm doing it with Ohio State. I don't know how well that win over Texas is aging. When you look back, you think later on in the season, we're going to look back at this Notre Dame team who's now 0-2. Are we going to look back and is this going to still be a big win? You were on the field with them. Does this Notre Dame feel like a great football team this season?
Well, how about this? Maybe I'll help out all you pundits with this. There's a residual effect to the great win that maybe the team that loses the game doesn't play as well as they're capable of for the rest of it. And so sometimes maybe it's a great win, even if the team doesn't continue to play like world beaters after it. I don't know. It's so hard to win big games like that. It's been 11 years since we won a game against a team ranked that high on the road. Like, we're going to enjoy this one and not really worry about what happens to Notre Dame the rest of the way.
I don't care one lick about it. They can just go sit in the front of the class like they brag about. And let's talk about Hugh.
I chuckle at this because we deal with this as coaches all the time, because anytime we beat a top 10 team, they naturally move out of the top 10. And so then it becomes all of a sudden it's not a top 10 win anymore. But if we lose to a top 10 team, they stay in the top 10 team. So we always have more top 10 losses than we do wins.
Such as the conundrum. Talk about
Such
Hugh
as
Freeze.
The conundrum of dealing with pundits.
Hugh Freeze is an offensive kind of guy. We've seen the spread and that 3-man surface stuff that he does. What do you do to get ready for his kind of offense?
They're a challenge. They're really talented at wide receiver. I think that's where it all starts, and I think that's obviously what he wants to do. They've got playmakers on the outside, and so they put you in a bind because they want to run the football. As wide as they spread out, and as much as it's about that, I think at his heart he wants to run the football. But if you commit numbers to the run, he's got these really talented kids on the outside that go make plays, and so. They're a challenge. They play with tempo, they play with pace. They got a really talented quarterback, and again, we'll have our hands full next week for sure.
Coach, you have a quarterback in Marcel Reed who is now 6th in the Heisman voting. Do you think that what we're seeing here is the potential start of a Heisman run? Do you think he's got that kind of game?
Here you go. I'll tell you what I told the team yesterday. I said this to the team. I said, for 11 months, the rhetoric on Marcel Reed was he couldn't throw the ball. He goes out and he has his absolute worst completion percentage in his career as a starter, and now he's a Heisman candidate. So you figure out where he really is in this whole picture. No, we've had a lot of confidence in Marcel all the way through it. We believe in who he is. Obviously, he had the most yards he's had, and that's what's creating the hype. But there's still a lot more in him in terms of efficiency and operation. And I think you'll see him continue to improve and get better as the year goes on. And where that ultimately takes him, we'll see.
Coach, you guys have a bye week this week, which is fantastic, especially when your next opponent is having a road game against Oklahoma, looks like they're playing pretty good football as well.
Yep.
Just as in a mindset, imagine you're on that side. Do you want to play against a team who's 4-0 coming off a big road win at Oklahoma, or would you like to catch a team would you like to see Oklahoma get the job done and say, okay, now we see this team isn't as big and bad as they've looked so far through 3 games. They look beatable. What's your preference on who wins this game between Auburn and Oklahoma?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I think no matter what, we're going to get a really, really good Auburn team. If they win, we're going to have a top 10 matchup in Kyle Field. If they don't, we're going to play a team who's desperate to keep themselves in the playoff and the SEC race. And so I think no matter how that game plays out, we're going to get a really, really good version of Auburn showing up here, and we're going to have to be ready to play them.
Coach, they've coached you up well on dealing with guys like me. Your masterful performance. Masterful. Coach, we appreciate you giving us some time on your off week. And we're looking forward to hearing from you after this game. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
That was Mike Elko earlier today on the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. He joined via the Buyers Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They're online at buyersbarricades.com. And I love what he had to say about the mindset of the team after the missed extra point or the botched extra point, and how they were like, look, and this is the same mindset I had in the bar at the Rue Pub that night as I was watching it with a former football player and guy that I've done shows with, and Nate Askew, and also a bunch of former Aggies. That's it. That's your opening. Go win it now. It's not about overtime. It's not about anything else. Go down and win the game. And that's what Marcel Reed did. And like you said, they've got a big test coming up against Hugh Freeze and Auburn here next weekend. So be sure to stay locked into San Antonio Sports Star for that, because we are your home for the Aggies right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Over at the University of Texas, while things are very high in College Station, in Austin, there's a little bit of panic going on, and you can hear it from the questions and the reaction of one Bob Ballou, KITV. He joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today. We'll bring you a portion of that interview. Talk about why everyone is so stressed out about the Texas Longhorns as they navigate their way through the soft part of their schedule after Ohio State, as they are now 2-1 heading into a Sam Houston State game that should be yet another win, as they are a 40.5 point favorite in that game. But why is the sky falling? Why? Because Arch hasn't lived up to the insanely high expectations set for him. We'll talk about it all coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Don't forget, coming up here in a little bit, I'm going to give you some tickets to Beer Fest, so stay tuned for that. 2 tickets to go see San Antonio Beer Fest October 18th out at the Civic Park at Hemisphere. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Fall Golf Classic is sold out, but the party's just getting started. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star invites everyone, yes, even if you aren't playing, to the official Fall Golf Classic after party happening Monday, September 29th at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road. Mad props to this year's tournament sponsor, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, who hits back when life hits hard, and plenty of sports star love to Fly by Yingling and PPM Motorhomes too. The Blitz with Jason and Joe kicks off the party live at 2 p.m. So sneak out of work early, call it networking, and raise a glass with us. So whether you're playing in the Classic or just want to crash the party, you're officially invited to the Sports Stars Golf Classic After Party at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, Monday, September 29th at 2 p.m. sharp. Details at sasportstar.com. See you at the Break Room Bar. Golf shoes not required.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1783. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1783. That's 800-575-1783. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
All right, the guys are at the game, so it's shopping time.
Ugh, I hate them all.
No, I mean JTV.
Jewelry Television? I'm obsessed with their jewelry. Have you seen their artisan collections?
And the color gemstone jewelry, they have gemstones I've never seen anywhere else. Plus, they even have gifts for men.
Right now, new customers receive 25% off their first purchase of $50 or more when they visit jtv.com/radio.
Did you know they have more than 90,000 products?
Maybe the game will go into overtime.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Woo-hoo! Hear that? Hot flashes and night sweats can sound like. Veoza is the #1 prescribed hormone-free treatment FDA approved for moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms, also known as hot flashes and night sweats, due to menopause. Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those beautiful icy balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu that's second to none. And Twin Peaks hand-stretched flatbreads, oh, they're coming out hot. Close out your night with our favorite flatbreads. They're available during the late night hours, Sunday through Thursday, for only $8. That's only from your favorite lodge, Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and oh, those scenic views. Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. Let me tell you something. It is so good to be right. In Prize Picks, there's no better way to prove your knowledge than to play Prize Picks. And Dallas Cowboy fans, you know every game counts, so don't miss a moment of the action this season on Prize Picks. Make your picks on your favorite Cowboys every week and ride with the boys all season long. You got all kinds of play, all kinds of ways to go. Right now, Prize Picks is offering $50 in lineups. That's money you can play with. Use it and prove how good you are. Prize Picks. There's only one place to go. All you need to know is more or less. You can pick your players, you can pick your game, but we got the place for you. It's Prize Picks. And remember the code Alamo. Alamo's the one you need. If you put that in there, use the code Alamo for your $50 free play. That's $50 when you use the term Alamo. You know the game. Go play it in the right place. That's Prize Picks. It's so good to be right, and you're always right when you head to Prize Picks. Go get it today. Download the app. Use the code Alamo, and you can come by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Just brought up in the comment section by Coyote, who's going to the break room bar on the 29th. That is right. Whether you're going to be in our golf tournament or not, you can always be a part of the after party, as we will be out at the break room bar to celebrate our sold out fall golf classic. So if you want to come hang out, make sure to join us over at the Break Room Bar on Pat Merker Road. It is the after party that everyone's invited to. It is for the 94-1 San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Classic out at Olympia Hills Golf Course on the 29th, that Monday here in September at the end of the month. So go ahead, make your plans, come on out, join us. Of course, the San Antonio Sports Star Fall Golf Classic, which has been sold out. We always say, don't be late signing up, because if you miss out, you'll miss out, and you've missed out. It is brought to you by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, also sponsored in part by Flight by Yangling and PPL Motorhomes. All proceeds benefit the Community Foundation of the Hill Country. Remember, the Break Room Bar, Pat Booker Road, Monday the 29th, 2 to 6 and beyond. CD's going to be there, says he's down. He's off Mondays now. It's his only day off. Why not go have a good time at the Break Room Bar with the Blitz and everybody from the golf tournament as they roll in for that? And stay tuned, because coming up after this segment, I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to the San Antonio Beer Festival on October the 18th out at Civic Park at Hemisphere. If you don't win your tickets, you can always buy them at sabeerfestival.com. But here, as soon as we're done with Bob Ballou, I'm going to give these tickets away to you. So stay tuned in for that, because earlier today on the Blitz, Bob Ballou joined both Jason and Joe as the fever pitch attitude surrounding Arch Manning and what this University of Texas Longhorns team should be and is not to this point has reached a fever pitch in Austin and across certain members of the media, it feels like, as well.
What's going on in the 40 acres? That's the question everybody's asking. This is a Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. Maybe we can find somebody that's got the answer to that.
Well, I don't know about that, or certainly not Bob Ballou. Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Playing a little therapist this week, are we?
No, I don't think so. I think it's totally fine to be critical. I don't have an issue with that. I think there's nothing wrong with watching what's happened, first 3 weeks of the season and wondering what's going on and why it's happening. I think there are a multitude of reasons, and my assumption is for the next 15 minutes or so, we can get into those.
Boy, that was philosophical, Ballou. I'm going to tell you, man. That was, buddy. Well, all right. Well, let's start with this. Look, I'm stating the obvious, obviously, but Arch Manning has not looked good. What is being said there? We heard from Arch. It's mental. Sark says he needs the adversity. What is the consensus there among Longhorn fans?
I think, there's no consensus because everybody has a new theory every day. You throw out any rumor you want to throw around. It's going to start now. But I think your point to what Arch said about being mental was actually a pretty big admission on his point. And if you watch some things that he's doing, I think it's fair to say it feels like, at least, whether he'd say this or not, it feels like everything in the pocket is sped up. It's a young quarterback that is trying to get his feet under him, and his mind's just going 100 miles an hour. So on some plays, he'll look at the first receiver, and the first receiver won't have made his break in his route yet, and he'll immediately go to number two instead of having the patience in the pocket when that clock starts to slow down. Quarterbacks talk about that a lot. When that clock starts to slow down, the game starts to slow down. I think you see his mechanics. There are a lot of throws that are high, low, wide, and it's because he's either not getting his feet set, or he's too quick, or there are a lot of things that you can go through when you go through this stuff. I think it's also a product of what's going on in this offense right now. And I really try to, you guys have known me for a long time. I really do try to give the benefit of the doubt
to a lot of different things that are going on. Arch has been bad, and I think we can start there. But I think when you're missing your 2 starting running backs and you have guys behind them that have barely taken a snap, and you have 4 offensive linemen who are basically brand new on the offensive line, and you have 3 receivers, one of them, DeAndre Moore, played last year. Well, he's hurt now. Now you've got Ryan Wingo, who's trying to step into a bigger role. That connection hasn't started happening. Obviously, the Parker Livingston connection's been okay. Then you've got a tight end in Jack Endries, who's really good, looked really good 2 weeks ago, looked really good against Ohio State too. All these new pieces, sometimes in an offense, it takes it a minute. It takes a minute to figure out, especially when you have 3 injuries to your key 3 veteran leaders on your offense. Sometimes it just takes a minute, and you're going to have to grow into it. And I've said this for weeks now. These 3 games were meant for Texas to figure out what they're good at. What is Arch Manning good at? What does he like in this offense? What does he feel comfortable with? And as they go into this 3rd game, they're going to have to figure out more of that and then go into SEC play saying, listen, we've got an elite defense. Our defense is going to keep us in most games. It's not to say they're going to keep them in all of them, because defenses are defenses. But for the most part, this defense is going to be pretty good throughout the year. So what is the offense good enough at that they feel comfortable when they go to Florida that first week, when they go to OU in game 2 of SEC play? What do they feel like they can do well? And then does something start to click based off of that, because Arch starts to gain confidence, this offense starts to gain confidence, and then you start to feel better about everything.
Bob Ballou.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot.
It is. Although, like, the way they seem to struggle against UTEP, they're getting booed, and then, quite frankly, they deserved that. I look at Sam Houston, and this is nothing like the Sam Houston team that won a national championship 5 years ago. This game could be 50-0 at halftime. In fact, if it's not, I think they might start booing. And so when you have these get right games and you don't get right, do they do more damage than good?
Well, I certainly don't think it's going to do more damage than good. I think they're going to have to learn from every single snap. They're going to have to feel like, and I think this Saturday, listen, Sam Houston have lost all 3 games by 17 points. They're not a good football team right now. Texas really needs to take advantage of this, but they really need to take advantage of the opportunity to get Arch Manning comfortable with what he's comfortable with what some of these receivers are comfortable with. I think every question that's out there right now, for the most part, is a fair question. But I go back to this. If you go watch, I mean, really the UTSA game last year, the Louisiana Monroe game and the Mississippi State game where Arch basically played the entire game. I mean, right now it looks like there's a different quarterback in the pocket than the one that we saw in those games. And it's wild. Like, it's really wild to watch. Like the Mississippi State game, to me, and this is why when everybody's like, oh, he was overhyped, I don't think he was. I think if you watch the tape from the Mississippi State game, you go, my gosh, like, this is a special player. And then whatever happened with maybe Ohio State blitzed him a little bit in his mind, and it hasn't been right since then. Whatever it is, he tried to use a golf analogy of, I just need to start flushing my 60 degree. Sometimes you don't, and you start flushing it. I don't know that I've ever flushed a 60 degree, but I'm not a very good player. But I think all of these things, like going back and watching that Mississippi State take, I'm like, that's the player we thought it was going to be. In each of these first 3 games, there have been a couple throws that I'm like, that's it. Like that. I mean, that's who we thought he was going to be. That's who we believe he is. And then it just doesn't go that well from there. So, like this last week, outside of, he had 10 straight incompletions. Outside of that, he was 11 of 14. The one throw off that first set of the 10 incompletions was the overthrow to Ryan Wingo when he had him open in the left corner of the end zone. And that kind of started the downturn of this. And I think that's just the confidence of a young player that is like, I should have hit that throw. And then he comes back with another bad throw. Then he throws the interception. And you're like, then you start getting down on yourself. Then the fans start booing and you hear that. And it's like, it's just this snowball. And you've got to find a way out of it. I think listen, I understand. I go back to this a lot. I understand fans pay their money. They're allowed to do whatever they want. I think Texas fans are out over their skis booing this team.
That was Bob Ballou earlier today on the Blitz. You can catch that full interview in the audio vault at sasportstar.com. And look, Orange Bloods has a post on X today. You can check it. I've retweeted it. I am Pledger. Joe Burrow's 2018 season, first 3 games versus Arch's first 3 games this year. Looks very similar. And Joe Burrow would end up going on to eventually win the Fiesta Bowl that year and then come back and become Joe Burr and win a national title with that team. Yeah, pieces need to fit together. Pieces need to have continuity with one another. And a young quarterback has to develop a sense of belonging and also confidence within the system, the players he's playing with, and you got CJ Baxter, Ryan Wingo Trey Weisner got hurt, so you're down to basically just CJ Baxter, whole new offensive line up front. Yeah, things aren't going to be immaculate early. That's why they have these 3 games scheduled, so that they can get these kinks worked out before the start of conference play. We saw it a couple years ago with Dallas. Mike McCarthy took over play calling. He told you to take 6 games. After the 5th game, boom, it looked like the offense took off and started going, and Dak finished second in the MVP voting. It takes time. Like, the Texans fans are upset because it looks very similar to last year. Cool. Because it's new to everyone involved, including a brand new 4 of 5 members of your offensive line. Sometimes things take time, and in this microwave society, we haven't given anyone the chance to potentially grow, develop, get better, because we expect you to be a ready-made prophecy out of the wrapper. And it's funny because in my quote tweet about this Arch Manning thing, I even said, oh, so you're saying time and consistency and development can happen while you're actually still playing? Wild. But it's true. We don't give time for things to develop anymore because transfer portal and everything else, we think we have these small finite windows to accomplish a big goal. And in reality, those things are laid at the foundation and built up. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. We've got San Antonio Beer Fest tickets to give away. I've been teasing them all show. I'm going to give you a chance to win them right now. So if you call in, caller 5 at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, San Antonio Beer Fest, October 18th at Civic Park at Hemisphere. We've got your tickets. Caller number 5, you are going to Beer Fest on October the 18th. Coming up next, though, we'll take a look at some other stories from around the NFL and get to some of your comments. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Thinking about replacing doors or windows? Well, whether it's 1, 2, or all of them, for the best price and quality, I've got the company for you. Hi, everybody. This is Joe Reinagel from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. For windows and door renovations, call and compare. Whether it's a window or door project at home, or if you're a contractor, windows and door renovations, 210-284-7888. Offering a wide variety of designs, styles, and materials. Save more with window technology that helps maintain your home's temperature, making your AC work less and your electricity bill go down. They're also selling Anderson windows, and all of their work comes with a lifetime warranty. Get the best price. Call now, 210-284-7888. Proudly veteran-owned and committed to supporting our military community. For more information, look them up on Facebook as Windows and Door Renovations. Call today, 210-284-7888.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com, on our YouTube page at SA Sports Star. Robert Spencer says, man, stop with the excuses. Y'all were ready to hand Arch the Heisman before the Ohio State game. And you're right. It wasn't just us. It was literally everyone was ready to hand Arch the Heisman before he even played against Ohio State in his first game as the designated starter for the season with no safety net of Quinn Ewers. You're absolutely right. But it doesn't mean that growth still can't happen between the beginning and end of somebody's time somewhere. I mean, Baker Mayfield went from walk-on at Texas State to guy that took over the starting job there to cast off because Patrick Mahomes came there, goes to OU, wins a Heisman, goes number 1 overall. I mean, a player, quarterback, whoever, a person's path is not always linear. As a matter of fact, in most time, they're less than linear. Very few times do we get exactly what we expect or see from people. And, you know, Sark even said at his press availability this week, you know, this is a lot. And Arch has had a really good life. This might be the most adversity this guy has ever faced in his entire life.
Really good. You know, here's a guy who's had an awesome life. You know, he's you know, the way he's grown up, where he played, the school he went to, the people he's been surrounded by. But I think you learn a lot about yourself through adversity and overcoming adversity and getting on the other side of adversity. And so to have some of this adversity that he has right now, and when he gets on the other side of it, I think all of this is going to serve not only well for him, but well for us as a team.
And he's right, because big part of whether it's being a quarterback, being a professional athlete, being a human being is overcoming adversity, because we are all going to face it at some point in our relationships, in our jobs, in our lives, in sports. Adversity happens. How do you bounce back and recover from that? Right now, the Houston Texans are 0-2. They are facing adversity because the offense doesn't look any better than it did under Bobby Sloak the year before. Is that a product of CJ Stroud? Is that a product of the offensive line? Is that a product of the new play caller? What is the issue? Or are we just too quick to assign something to someone, no matter what it is? And I think that's part of it, whether it's Arch Manning being the chosen one because his last name's Manning and he was the highest recruit coming out of high school, and he has all of this extra knowledge in his head because of who his family is and who he has to lean on and could potentially become. I mean, I imagine Charlie Woods is going to deal with this, being the son of Tiger, with the swing that he has and in front of the camera since birth, basically. His golf career has been charted since he was a junior amateur golfer. And now he is very much so in the public light of every tournament he is at. We find out what he's doing, how he's doing. That's a big cross to bear, especially when you're talking about, no matter what family you come from, someone who's 18, 19 years old. Give it a pause, give it a breath, allow it to see what it becomes. I understand it. You can be frustrated. I'm frustrated by it. I think they should be in a further place than they are, but I also am under the knowledge that Arch Manning haven't really started a lot since he got to Texas. He stepped in the middle of a UTSA game. He started against Louisiana Monroe. He started against Mississippi State. And that was the last we saw of him until Ohio State again. So he's gone a long time in between playing all the time when he's in high school to sitting, learning, watching, and all of a sudden you're back on the field and you've got to get that mental clock right that quarterbacks have to have in their head, because you don't want your clock to be too slow, because then you're taking a lot of sacks and getting late on throws. And it seems like Arch's clock is a bit sped up, and maybe it's faster than it needs to be rather than slower than it should be. Joel Klatt of Fox Sports was talking about Arch's struggles and how it might be the fact that maybe he's just gotten a little too quick with things in his head.
Personally believe after watching Arch, he is too fast right now. He is pressing and he is ahead of the offense. That's the way it looks. Maybe not on every single play, but certainly on several plays. So here's what I see. I see that Arch gets back there and he has time to throw. And then before the picture can develop, you can tell his eyes are already shifting from the first place he's looking to the second place he's looking. So he's going from 1 to 2 before the picture ever materializes. He's ahead of the timing of the offense.
And that's, we hear about people talking about their clock's too slow, it needs to speed up. Maybe his is too fast and it needs to slow down. Same as golf swing. Your swing can get a little quick and then you're over the top and you're snap hooking everything. Give him a minute, because they are winning games. They're not as pretty as you want it to be, but they're still winning games. And I think we've lost the ability, because social media, whatever it may be, the instantaneous nature of everything, ordering something on Amazon and it coming in the same day. And if you have to wait like 3 days for it to get there because it's not in stock, all of a sudden we are mad at the world because we can't get it instantaneously. And I think it's a byproduct of our society today. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. When we come back, I'm going to put a ball on the show, get you ready for the Cowboys Hour, coming up next, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Stop wasting money on hard water costs. Go get yourself a Connecticut water system. It's one of the few household appliances that pays for itself. These things are quiet, efficient, reliable, and non-electric. But the best part is you'll save money when you own a Connecticut water softener. Connecticut water softeners are specifically designed to solve virtually any water problem you may have. Living in the hill country, you folks have some serious hard water that costs you major money in cleaning supplies and wear and tear on your appliances. Plus, Connecticut water softeners are guaranteed to remove more impurities and perform more efficiently with lower lifetime costs than any other softener on the market. So, for the best water softener in the business and to save money, call Connecticut today. 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com.
ConnecticutSA.com. License number 38961.
Owe the IRS $10,000 or more in business or personal back taxes? Call the Tax Doctor now. Learn how to pay the IRS less. 800-430-3062. 800-430-3062.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
What's up, football fans? Picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first touchdown scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This specific promotional offer is not available in Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Puerto Rico, or Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. In Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 in Puerto Rico. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. You can follow me on all social media at I am Pleasure. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. I appreciate y'all riding along with me this evening. A lot of hot dog conversation in the comment section on YouTube. And to be fair, those hot dogs that Justin brought, freaking amazing. Never had Wiener Schnitzel before, but might have to go more now that I know that that's a thing and how good it is. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1. Remember that all week long, I'm going to have tickets to go see SA Beer Festival out at Hemisphere Civic Park at Hemisphere. It is October 18th, so just stay tuned all week long to Extra Innings with Pledge and the Blitz, as we will be getting people registered to go. And if you don't win your tickets here, you can always get them online at sabeerfestival.com. I appreciate all y'all for rolling through with me tonight. We had a full hour tomorrow. We've got 30 minutes because Thursday night football, as we'll be getting you ready for that. Until then, we've got the Cowboys Hour coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Remember, no A&M Coaches Show today. They're on a bye this week. They will be back next week. But if you missed Mike Elko, you can go to our audio vault. He joined the Morning Huddle at sasportstar.com. It is powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. Call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life, and a simple "hey, how are you doing" could change their life. This has been great. Love hanging out with y'all every day. We will see you tomorrow right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, the Rue Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens.